Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Yeah.
I'm Jammer. This is the
Eric Go Bra bitches.
And that right there is the Shagster himself, Shag Dog.
That's right, Jammer. You're doing a review, and I'm not. I'm just drinking some Guinness, but we got a shot too.
Yes, we got a shot to do. So,
tell the beer you're doing first, and we'll get the beers poured. Then we'll do a shot.
All right, I'm doing Allagash Gatherwell. It's bourbon barrel aged stout. It's 11% ABV, and it's by Allagash. Allagash. It says right here, thick bodied and dare we say, decadent. Decadent stout aged in bourbon barrel for notes of cocoa, vanilla, and oak. Pairs well with any gathering.
All right. And I'm just drinking a Guinness Draught. I reviewed it last week, so I figured I'm not going to review it again. I had an Allagash too, but it was in my beer closet, and it was a barrel bourbon aged one. But I was like, well, I don't want to review anything or drink anything strong. So, but it was different. I did check though, because I was thinking if it was the same one, I'd have to do it, but it's different.
It's a different one.
Yeah, it's some bean something barrel aged stout.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. Are we doing the shot?
Yeah, I'm doing a shot of Jameson. I didn't get a full shot because it's the bottle's empty, but almost a full shot.
Yep, me too. Jameson.
All right, Sláinte.
Sláinte.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. About 50 more to go till we die.
Yes. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah.
Tastes
smooth.
Tastes like leprechaun balls.
Smooth. All right. Mine is dark. Very dark. There's no light coming in at all. And it has a beige head that's quickly dissipating, even though I didn't pour it all that hard to begin with. It looks really nice, actually. Let me give it a sniff. Ooh. I'm getting that oak. A little of that vanilla. A slight, like, little espresso type smell there. Maybe there's some dark fruits. What did that say on there? I forget. Sometimes I read things I don't even pay attention. Oh yeah, chocolate. Yeah, cocoa. Yeah, there's cocoa there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Get the Beer Advocate score on that. I'm showing a 90 on Beer Advocate.
Yeah. Oh, didn't mean for that. Got to go back to where I was at. We had this going.
Hey, Jammer fan.
Awesome. Jammer fans on. Happy St. Patrick's Day, man. You're about to go to sleep, man.
Yeah.
That's sad. You're wasting good drinking time.
About 9 o'clock there, is it? 9 a.m.?
Yeah, he's wasting good drinking time, though. Early morning. Oh, bad. Anyway, let me get back to this. 11% alcohol. It does have like a slight boozy warmth and boozy taste there, but it's pretty well masked. It's not super sweet or anything. It's just nice, mildly sweetness. The espresso notes is towards the back. I get the vanilla and oak right before that, and cocoa is like throughout. Mouthfeel is about medium, in my opinion. I don't know what you would say, Shag Dog, if you had it. All right, I'm getting all these messages. I gotta do what I do to Shag Dog all the time, and that's put "do not disturb," so that I don't get disturbed by him.
I just turned my volume down. My volume's down on my phone all the time. I don't hear notifications. But since I sleep, I turn the volume down. I'd never turn it back up. So
yeah, I just put "not disturb" on.
I guess if I was getting trying to look for a new job or something, and I'd probably have the ring around then. But
funny is I put do not disturb on. A long time ago when I kept getting all these phone calls from spam, all that kind of
yeah,
crappy phone calls. I got tired of them, and I started every time they'd call, I'd block, block, block. But what was funny is I put it on do not disturb, and I put it on there for I don't know 6 months, 3 months, and I didn't take it off. And guess what? I take it off. I didn't get a phone call for 3 months.
that's good.
Yeah.
I've been getting a lot from Florida. I got a Florida number still, area code and everything. So I've been getting a lot from Florida constantly, but for some reason, the past 3 months, I haven't been getting any. So I'm not. Maybe they realize I'm not in the state or something. I don't know.
No, it's probably a bunch of spam calls, basically, and they try to spoof it to look like it's Florida,
Yeah,
because you have a Florida area code.
yeah, and I see a Florida. It's usually an 813 number. Sometimes I answer and yeah.
My mom has started doing something whenever they call. These people keep calling and say, we're in your area doing a roof, and we're doing roof inspections, and we'd like to, my mom's like, you're not, man, I don't want you inspecting my roof, stay with, getting involved in a conversation with them and all that stuff. Finally, my sister suggested her doing something, and ever since then, she's been doing it, and she hasn't been getting the phone calls.
What's that?
When she sees a number that she recognizes or don't recognize, and she answers it, she just answers it. They say the police department may help you.
She should give herself a rank too, like a lieutenant. Lieutenant, her first name, and then this is Lieutenant so and so,
Lieutenant Dan.
And booking. Yeah.
But the police department may help you.
Me and my brother used to do that, like back in the old days before Star 69. We were kids, and it's called. Well, we'd prank call people, but no, we'd answer the phone. Yeah, Dave's morgue. You kill him, we chill him. Stuff like that, and people would hang up. I guess they thought they got the wrong number.
Roadside restaurant. You kill it, we grill it.
Yeah. We used to say all those things. And then one time, we were getting prank calls. Somebody was prank calling us, probably some girls or something. Getting this call, and they kept hanging up. I answered it like the third time. I said, listen, mother. I think I told you this once. Listen, motherfuckers, you keep calling her, I'm going to kill you. Or something like that. And it was my grandmother's, my aunt, my great aunt, Agnes. She's like, hey, is your mother there? I'm like, oh, hey, Aunt Agnes.
I got a special set of skills, and these special set of skills makes me be able to hunt you down and kill you.
Hey. But I don't know. She was calling and accidentally hanging up or something when she was trying to call or something.
Oh, so anyway, let me get to a grade on this Shag Dog.
There you go.
We digress. I wish it was a little more richer and more bolder in the flavors of the espresso and the cocoa and the vanilla and oak. To me, it's very mild in comparison to most drinks of this stature. So I am kind of a little disappointed in it. Although it does have some really nice points in it. Like it does mask the booziness, and the warmth is nice and everything. And do it pretty well. And it's not overly sweet. So some stouts can be very sweet. In general, I would have to say I would give this a B- and a swallow and a quarter, because it is easy to drink, especially at 11% ABV. I don't know what the BA gave this, and it doesn't really matter, but
yeah, I give this a different grade every time I drink it. B plus, A minus, A.
Well, being that you're not giving it a review, it doesn't matter.
Still, I would say the easiest drinking stout there is. I think a very poundable stout. Yeah.
Let's see it. It's Gatherwell Stout. Let's see what it says. Beer Advocate Gatherwell.
Oh yeah, you got a 90 American.
90. Oh yeah, it's a 90. Yeah.
Yeah. Living room filled by the warmth of a fire. Is that what you read, or that was on the bottle?
No.
Hmm.
That must have been one of the old things they had on the bottle, and then they got cheap because they couldn't afford to print so much.
Yeah, that's a lot of wording.
I often wonder, is the reason why they do like a half label, or a 3/4 label, because they can't afford that extra bit of paper?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they had a full label at one time, and then we got cut costs. What could we do? Let's cut half the label off.
Yeah, and then up top, you couldn't do a full band. You only did a half band.
I mean, imagine how much money that saves them now, cutting half off.
Well, I'm not picking on them for it, but I'm just saying in general. I know that in the big scheme of things, you're talking about how many bottles you make and everything, and how many, like you said, it adds up.
Right. But I implore them, if the economy ever gets better, let's do a full label. Put some information on there.
Some information, a little history of the brewery or the beer.
Yeah.
How it came about that you created this one?
Where the owner was born, or the guy that came out with the brewery.
His social security number. Bank accounts.
Yeah, did he come from Venezuela? Do we need to deport him back? Yeah.
A whole line of things,
You see that video showing them going to El Salvador? I guess El Salvador took the Venezuelan gang members in that Trump sent.
Gay members or gang members?
Gang
members. Venezuela?
Yeah, but they sent them to El Salvador. El Salvador agreed to take them to their prison. They got them in there. It's like shaving their fucking beards off. Got them marching through, bent over handcuffs during shorts and white T-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
They don't play in those countries. American prisoners got it easy.
Oh well, they got it easy down there when they're look at what's his name that created his own prison.
Yeah, the guy from Colombia there, or
Paco, or whatever his name was.
Mexican one, yeah, one of the cartel guys, or one of the Colombian.
Yeah, he was the one they made this mini little TV show on Netflix for and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I forget his name now.
Yeah, I think if you're one of the head honchos, yeah.
I think that they could pay. You got enough money, you're gonna get yourself a cushy cell. You may have to stay in the jail, but you're going to be in a cushy environment, and you're going to have the run of the prison, and you're going to be able to do all kinds of things.
Probably get more than half the staff to, corrupt half the staff. Give them an extra $500 a month in El Salvador. That's a 5-month salary or something. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Okay, I was watching a program the other day, and they were running guns. They were stealing guns, running them, and selling them, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking that's a lot of risk, isn't it?
You would think.
I mean, you would think that it's a lot of risk first to be able to get the guns, to steal them, or whatever, then to sell the guns, and then to purchase the guns, the person who's purchasing them. That's a lot of risk there too. Now, what way could you cut down the risk as the person selling it? The person who's obtaining the guns to sell. Because you have the most risk. You're obtaining them and then you're selling them, right?
Right.
So what is the least risk that you could possibly have? And I started thinking to myself, well, if you got that kind of money to be able to pay for guns and stuff like that, you must have a lot of money. I mean, what I forget his name. Golly, I wish I could remember his name. The Colombian guy that has the head of the cartel that died in miniseries and all that. Because golly, I can't remember his name.
What streaming services? Miniseries?
Netflix.
Let's do it real quick.
Anyway,
streaming service, Netflix, show about a cartel leader. Let's see if that works. Narcos, Mexico. Pablo Escobar.
Pablo, yeah.
Yeah.
The kind of money he was bringing down, $22 million in a day, sometimes more than that. I mean, you're talking about huge money, right? Mm. And the fact that the cartels wanted to buy their own submarine, to be able to transport. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're talking about big money, right? Why not open up a off the site, out of the way manufacturing facility and make your own guns with no serial numbers, no nothing. You create make your own guns.
Right.
Design them, everything.
Money. You should be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and do it all on the sly without anybody knowing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could sell those guns yourself. You ship them out and sell.
Right.
I mean, that you've cut down part of your risk there because you're making them yourself. Now you run the risk of somebody finding out that you're manufacturing and they raid the facility. But if you do it on the sly, where like underground, or you make an underground facility that nobody knows about, or hidden, in the jungle somewhere where you ship in certain stuff to make steel and iron and all that. Granted, you're going to be bringing in a lot of that raw material, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing about crime. Does the risk? Does the reward outweigh the risk? And even if it does, that slim chance of getting caught, you could be going away for a long time. So.
Yeah. Are you willing to sacrifice those years?
Right. Are you willing to take a chance? Yeah.
Now, there was some guys who were robbing banks, and they had one of the biggest runs. It was like millions of dollars back in the 70s. And they got caught. Stupidity got caught. And if I remember correctly, it was from, supposedly they cleaned the house that they were using. They wiped it down clean. It was spotless, clean as a whistle, except somebody forgot to turn the dishwasher on to wash all the dishes that they had touched and stuff like that. So then they got their fingerprints on all the dishes and everything. And they were able to trace it back through, everything. So anyway, what I was getting at is they had all that money and got caught. They went to jail for, like 10 years or something like that. And the majority of that money was never recovered,
Take your time though. That's a strong beer.
Majority of the money was never recovered, and the guy who was out, he was being interviewed, and they asked him, they never recovered all the money. Is there money out there? You know where it's at and everything? And he goes, I couldn't tell you even if I wanted to. I can't tell you that. I'm assuming they're waiting for the statute of limitations to be up so they could do it.
I'd like to get just for something like that. You heard about Civil War Confederate stashes where they hid gold or whatever. Wouldn't you like to just get a metal detector and go out there where supposedly their little base camps were when they were in the field or whatever? Go around that whole area just searching for stuff. That'd be great. Imagine it came up some damn Confederate gold from 1864.
Well, the first thing I would do is not tell no one.
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell anybody. I would ship it out of there. I wouldn't go online. I wouldn't go anything. If I had to, I would turn around and melt the majority of it.
Right.
I'd melt it down myself and then start going to these little shops that said, we buy gold. We buy gold. Oh, I got this gold right here I'd like to sell.
Oh, yeah, just hit a whole bunch of them, hit different ones, so.
Because as soon as you tell somebody, I found this Confederate gold.
Right. They're going to be coming after you.
They'll swoop in and you're not the owner of the property owner here, or the government reserves. Yeah.
And they find out, so-and-so, this person that was the original owner, so this has to go to this family.
And then you get nothing.
Or reparations.
Yeah. So, and you have nothing. So I may keep a little of it just for historical purposes.
Right.
To say I found this
30, 40 years down the road.
Yeah. I pull it out and say, I came across this at a flea market. I bought it. They thought it was just an iron brick that they were holding the door closed with.
Right. That'd be a good way to clear yourself too.
Yeah. Holding the door open. It was a door stop for 50 years.
Yes.
And then let it be, but I definitely would not be telling anybody. It's just like here in Florida. You find pirates' gold off the coast of Florida. the state has the right to take it from you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an inmate that used to do that. He was a cop, a former cop. He killed another cop. That's why he was in prison. But he killed the other cop because the other cop was having sex with his wife or whatever. But anyhow, but he was in a book. He was a gold treasure hunter off the coast of the east coast of Florida there, and they found stuff before, like back in he was old, so this is like back in the 70s or something, early 80s, the book that he was in.
That was the time period where I think you could find a lot. Now I think even though it's gotten easier with technology to be able to find stuff, I think
most of it's been taken already.
Yeah, I think the majority of it's already been pretty much found, and if it hasn't been found, it's been buried by the seas, the sand, the seabed, and all that stuff.
Yeah, with the currents and all that,
and covered up so much that you probably never will recover it.
Mm-hmm.
Weirder things have happened, but
Yeah.
I think a majority of some of these people who go out treasure hunting, especially in the woods and of North America and so forth, and they find stuff, I think a lot of them, they may be legit. Okay, I would say probably at least 70% are legit. The other 30% are probably there going, you know what? Let's say we found it out here. We'll go out here and act like we dug it up, and we found it, and claim we found it. Just like I think a lot of people claim that they bought that painting or they found that necklace or whatever it is at a flea market.
Oh, yes. I found this, what the hell is Joe Biden's son's name? Oh, I found this, whatever his name
Joe
was.
Biden painting?
Yeah, painted by his son. Yeah, I found it.
It was worthless, so I
worthless
put it out.
Now, yeah. All those people paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for those paintings. They're probably worthless.
That was money laundering there.
Yeah, probably.
That was a way to pay him for his fees without actually paying him,
right,
directly. We'll buy a painting from you, and it'll be for the fact that you allowed this deal to go through because your dad was a part of it, and we need to pay you also.
The big guy.
Yeah, the big guy,
Yeah.
I hope to God they take down a bunch of the people that were involved in a lot of these NGOs and stuff like that, the corruption and the fraud. But I have a feeling, and I doubt they'll ever do it. Just like the Epstein thing, I doubt they'll ever bring any down big names at all. I mean, they have more names going on with the Diddy parties right now.
That's true.
Cuba Gooding Jr. and
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, these people are at parties, but what if I was here and all that stuff was going on in some other room here? I didn't know about it.
Well, if you're at the party, you know about it.
So what are these young girls that they had or boys?
Cuba supposedly was hitting on or messing with some guy.
No way. Cuba Gooding Jr.?
Yeah. I guess the fact that it's so easy to get women that he just felt like he needed a guy, Either that or he had his cock sucked by some guy before and said, man, that's better than any woman that ever did it to me. I got to get another guy to do it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's crazy. That whole, why that Diddy parties, was like, why?
But they had underage boys and girls there, so
you could get
and supposedly it was just massages. It's just massages. You could get a massage by these underage girls. So, all right, so you're doing a massage. Still, it doesn't matter if they're young or not. Massaging you, it doesn't matter. They shouldn't be at a party with all these drugs and alcohol and all that.
Right. If you want to do that, why don't you just get some high class hookers? Yeah.
Well, they don't want that. They want
you don't need high class. You need medium hookers.
I think in a lot of ways, it's. If you notice, a lot of porn sites have a demonic overtones.
Oh, really?
Like, was that Evil Angel? Evil Angel.
I don't know that one, but they always got the barely legal. That's the big.
Well, if you go on what is it, Pornhub or something like that, you'll come across Evil Angel and
go on it now. And I heard you can't do it in Florida too. They passed that this year.
All you have to do is change your IP address.
Oh, the IP thing.
Yeah, get IP Vanish and you can do it.
IP Vanish. I gotta look that up. Yeah, because I miss my Pornhub.
But what I was getting at is you got all these demonic things, and you know, and women dressed with little demon horns and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of entertainers are doing that shit. Yeah,
And I just feel as though is that them subliminally or basically blatantly or whatever, you know, showing, hey, this is what it's about. We're soul sucking here, you know, basically.
right.
And I have a feeling that a lot of that is they think they can get the energy, the essence of a youthful person, or the essence of a man that to cause a straight man to do something with a gay guy, you know, to be able to grab the essence of him, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Same thing with women, to have women doing things with you know,
You think it
young
could be
girls to do with guys that they're still in their youth, or still, you know, some kind of soul sucking type stuff.
You think it could be I'm going to wear this just to cause them chaos because they're going to think I'm a devil worshiper. Oh, let me put these horns.
Well, that too. It could be that too. It could be a portion of a little of everything.
Give me more publicity, you know.
It could be a portion of everything.
A lot of those singers do need more publicity because a lot of them suck.
Well, majority of them today, like that video I sent you today, talking about how the different decades were distinguished by their fashion, music, and overall style of that decade. The 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s all had distinguishing differences. From 2000 on, there hasn't been that much difference.
Yeah, the only way I can give that credit why there is no difference, because 2000 to 2010 blend, like, what are we? What do they call our decade? The 2000s, the 2010s, what are we? And then the teens, 2000 teens, what are we? The 2010s, what are we? Maybe they'll start to get there. I mean, but we're halfway through this decade too. You're right.
Hey, if you were the generation of the early 2000s, I would have called you the new century babies.
Right.
That's what I would have said. New century babies, the new century generation. You know, I would have gave you a good name, you know, or
but like that video said, I mean, you look at a movie from 2005 or a TV show, you wouldn't be able to tell it's 20 years ago or today. You know, they're all dressed the same. The hairstyles are pretty similar.
Yeah, and they have no characters. What it is that people stood for something themselves. They had their own individuals. They didn't want to be a part of a group per se. Yeah, there was groups, but you know, there was a mass amount of different groups. There was the punk generation, you know, the punk rockers and all that stuff. Then you had the big hair metal rockers, you know, and then rocker, you know, and then you had the soft rock
preppies,
preppies, the jocks,
the scumbags,
you know, all these different ones that the ghetto, you know, kind of the hicks, you know, all them, you know, they had their own little cliques, and even though they were different cliques, the majority of them got along,
right?
Because they had friends in each one. I myself, I had friends in each little clique. I was my own person. I didn't go by what they wanted or they wanted or they wanted. I listened to the music I liked. I watched the movies I liked, and I was my own person. And people would say, "Why do you listen to that old music?" Well, it's better than some of the stuff that I'm hearing today. And then they would say, "Well, don't you like today's music?" I said, "Yeah, I like a lot of today's music, but I like that too because it's good music." Just like the movies. I mean, I liked a lot of older movies.
You didn't like the 80s music, huh?
I liked the 80s music. I liked a lot of it, but I didn't care for some of the boy bands and the girl bands that came about and a lot of the girl rockers back then. Unless it was like Sheena Easton or Pat Benatar or Hart or I'll give what's her name Jackson. What's her?
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson some credit because she had some good songs.
The big 2 albums she had were really good.
Yeah, but I got tired of hearing. Oh, and I like that. I think we're alone now. What's her name?
Tiffany
doing the remake. Tiffany. I liked all those different stuff.
Yeah, I like that song. I didn't like
the song was good to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't buy her album because I don't know nothing else off that album by her. Yeah.
No, but the song was good even before she did a remake of it.
Yeah, and she did an alright version. I mean,
she did a good version.
I never heard the original until after I heard hers. So,
I liked the Bangles, and I liked
the Go-Go's,
Cyndi Lauper, the Go-Go's. All them.
Yeah, Go-Go's good. Yeah.
But there was some that I just couldn't care for, and they would play them over and over again. It's just like Tom Petty. When Tom Petty was out in the 80s, early 90s, man, I got sick of hearing him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Stop!
I can't wait any longer. Stop!
I think Tom Petty, though, kind of evolved a little bit with the times, though. So at least
he did.
Artists, he evolved like who else evolved with a lot of different bands evolved. Some bands couldn't. Kiss really evolved with the times because
Aerosmith.
Yeah,
evolved.
Another one. Yep, they became glam, but
even golly, Bon Jovi did a little bit, but I mean Van Halen. Van Halen changed it up.
Yeah, from the 70s all the way up to the 90s. Yeah.
And the thing about the crazy thing about Van Halen is David Lee Roth, right? He all right, him and Van Halen together brought balance. There was rock, but then there was a little bit of the show type stuff, cool. the crazy, just the gigolo, all these different,
Yeah, that was his solo shit. There.
Those, but the was those songs that he did back with.
He had.
They did remakes in Van Halen. They did remakes.
Crying and.
But that was I'm talking about the remakes. The remakes they did of songs from back in the day.
Yeah, I forget.
That kind of showcased him being kind of like that, And
what kind of songs did Van Halen's redo?
Remakes.
Yeah. Really got me. You're no good.
Yeah, you really got me going. You really got me. No, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. That's a remake, And but the thing about it was a good rockin' remake, and that showed off the rocking capabilities and brought people to listen to them from a different generation as well as the generation that was going on.
Yeah.
And then they also got their own songs, and they was kind of balanced. The problem I heard and remember is that David Lee Roth wanted to do more of those remakes.
Right.
Than Eddie wanted to do, or the rest of the band.
Right.
They wanted to do their own stuff.
And
I completely understand why they wanted to do their original own stuff, because you make more money from it. One, it's an outlet for your creativity, and you solidify your ground, setting. That you are a rockin' band that has it's a legitimate rocker band.
Yeah, because when they were Sammy Hagar, I don't think they redid any songs that were old songs.
I don't remember them doing any of them. I could be wrong, but they did a lot of original music, and it was good.
But I like how you said balance earlier, because their last album, I think, with Sammy Hagar was called Balance, I think.
Yeah. And then when David Lee Roth went on his own, he did that Just a Gigolo and a couple other songs. The only original thing that he really did was that Yankee Rose, really.
That on the second album we had there, Just Like Paradise.
Yeah.
This must be just like
living in paradise. And it was good.
That album flopped, though. I mean, his first album sold a little bit more, of course, but
it sounded kind of like a Van Halen album.
That was good.
The Yankee Rose sounded kind of like a Van Halen album.
Yeah, I mean, because the other song that was original was "Going Crazy from the Heat." Going crazy from the heat. Yeah. But he had the solo stuff with the Gigolo, and there was another one too. Oh yeah, California Girls.
Yeah.
There was another one he did too. I can't remember the hell. Oh, I Ain't Got Nobody.
No, yeah.
Is that the same
thing? That was part of Gigolo.
Oh yeah.
But the whole thing I'm getting at is that when he went off on his own by himself, he wasn't all that great. few albums, and then he died basically.
Really?
Van Halen, they did a few albums, and after Sammy left, they
died too. Yeah.
And without somebody to be that frontman.
David Sharon or whatever his name was from Extreme, their final album back there in the 90s, and that album flopped pretty much. So,
like I said, no matter what you say about David Lee, he was a good frontman.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good.
They look at him as the inspiration for a lot of frontmen of the 80s, the hair glam, the hair band.
Flying around by a cable in the concert. I mean, come on. Wearing the spandex.
Jumping up in the air, doing roundhouse 360s, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Splits and shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, he did that, you know, and he did it well. Sammy Hagar is not that type of frontman, but he was a good frontman still.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, David Lee Roth, I mean, even though he's a good frontman, when I've seen him, like in interviews all back then, he came off very arrogant and annoying, and I wouldn't be able to hang around with him either. So
no, I like the videos that he did because MTV at that time was perfect for him to be able to do those videos and stuff, and the quirky humor and all that kind of crap. I got it. I liked it, you know, I enjoyed it. But like you said, the interviews you see of him, you're like, yeah, I don't know if I could hang around him. He's too conceited, too full of himself, too much. And I can understand where Eddie and them might feel the same way about him because they had their big head full of, you know, I'm better, you know, I'm this. And,
have you ever seen the MTV Music Video Awards? It might have been right after Sammy left, and they had Dave show up with the rest of them. I don't know if they sang a song or not, but they gave an award away or something, and Dave's talking, and you see Eddie's face like, Jesus. Yeah. Like, God, we should. I
can tell you right now, if it was me and I was being a front man and everything, you always have to pay respect to the people who help you, the people who make you that front man. Because in the end, without each other, you lose. You know, you don't have anything. So it's just like football. You know, if you're the ball carrier, you're the quarterback. If you don't have that front line protecting you until you can throw that touchdown pass, and if you don't have a receiver to catch that pass, well, guess what? You suck. You know, so without everybody doing their job, you're going to suck. And you have to give credit to Eddie and the rest of the gang there. They did their jobs, and they made him the star, basically. What he should have been doing is saying, you know what? Hey, Eddie, you could answer that question, can't you? Hey, so-and-so, you can answer the question.
I mean, if I didn't have...
Hey, guys, what do you think, guys? You know?
Yeah. If I didn't have the best guitarist in the world, one of the best drummers, a great bassist who also has a great backing vocal, I wouldn't be nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pay respect. Pay respect because
Michael Anthony is considered one of the best backing vocals. I mean, especially with that Van Halen backing vocals, you know, he's pretty good. I put him on a fantasy thing. There's like a
fantasy band,
who would be your super group, and I actually put either him. I picked him, but I said if I can't get him, I'd go with Juan Krauscher of Rat backing vocals because they're both really good. You know, okay bassists, but really good backing vocals. You know, for their particular bands, you know.
But you know that you know I see that a lot, and that might be also the agents saying, "Hey, you don't need them. You don't need them. You're a star."
Right.
You know, feeding that ego. You know,
they don't want to do the songs you don't want to do. You want to.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck them. You don't need them.
We could do a whole album of Frank Sinatra hits or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, we do a whole album of you, and we'll make music videos to match it. Yeah. You could be a star.
I tell you what, that California Girls. Yeah, I might have not had the JCPenney's or the Sears catalog that week, and the California Girls did it for me.
Hey, Dave, like, Dave TV,
Northern Girls, and all those.
Are you ready for another?
Yeah, let's do it.
Are we doing a drinking and thinking? Or that doesn't matter. We'll talk about it in a minute.
All right, yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. Grab you a beer and have some cheer. You know, get with your friends and let the fun never end. Come on. Let's party. Let's have a great time today.
Let's do it.
Safe party.
Stay green, my friend.
Yes.
I will see you on the next one.